Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a deck reading for what makes you so attractive. So how do other people see you? What makes you attractive? This is where you get to use your intuition to pick the number, the deck, or the object. I will be placing objects here in a moment. And you use your intuition to do that. Then I have the timestamps down below. You meet me at your reading and I will use my intuition to read the cards for you. And it's all about attractiveness, all about really that inner beauty that you have, that maybe you don't even realize that you're projecting that. You don't even realize that other people are picking up on that. So if you like to pick with objects, I'm going to be placing objects right now. So this is the Light Seers Tarot here for group number 1, and the object that goes with it is a clear quartz heart. For group number 2, this is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and the object that goes with it is this Bumblebee Jasper. For group number 3, this is Mystical Moments, Tarot of Mystical Moments. And for the object that goes with it is Pink Mookaite Heart. And group number 4 here, the green and purple, this is Ethereal Visions, Illuminated Tarot, and the object that goes with it is this purple and green rainbow fluorite. So if you still don't know what your group is, what you want to pick, that's okay. We're going to set some intentions and I'm going to do a breathing exercise. You're always welcome to do that with me. I'm just going to close my eyes, take a deep breath in and release. We're going to let go of any tension and we are going to set the intention that you will receive the messages that you need to hear right now. Go ahead and take another deep breath in and release. Okay, open your eyes, and wherever your eyes are drawn, that is the group for you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you, love you, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1. If you picked the clear quartz or you liked the look of that tarot deck, which I will be getting out here in a moment, don't worry. You were in the right spot. So what makes you so attractive? We're going to start with these sacred geometry cards because I think it really gives us a depth and complexity. And speaking of depth and complexity, that is what makes you attractive, especially consciousness. When we have this consciousness card, consciousness is kind of hard to pin down exactly what it is, what it means, but it certainly is an awareness, like awareness of your surroundings and awareness of time passing and awareness of if I do this now, it is for this goal later. I feel like you're somebody who, when you start speaking, like there's a depth and complexity to you that, yes, on the surface, I think you're somebody who does come off as very attractive, like on the surface, but it's nowhere compared to the things that you think and the things that you tell other people. Like that is what keeps people coming back to speak to you. You have interesting things to say, and you probably say them in a complex way, or you have interesting, you want to talk about complex things and you're interested in those things and you bring them up, and maybe you're not the expert on them, and that's okay, but I think you make people think in different terms or react to their environment in different ways than they wouldn't normally. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. For you, that would be like multidimensional aspects. You come into a situation and there's like an instant attraction, and probably not, like, people can't quite put their finger on why. It's, yes, you know, maybe on paper, if they saw a picture of you, somebody would say you were attractive, but not nearly as much as if they see you in person. There's a certain like aura, for sure. Aura is the right word here. Aura that you ooze. Look at this, Knight of Wands. Definitely a certain light that comes out when you're around. A beautiful vibe, if you will. What else can you tell us about group 1? A lot of knights here. Knight of Swords, so very thoughtful. And the Hermit. And one more card, we have the Four of Cups. So the difficult part about this is that I think that there's a lot of people who are probably not on your level. That the knights over here indicate like you're ready to go, you're ready to do things, you're enthusiastic, you want to talk about things, you want to experience things, you want new experiences. But there's not always, like, even one friend group that you have that is interested in the ideas that you have and the theories that you like to talk about may not be that adventurous as you are. There's this multi-dimensional aspect to you. So I feel like you have to have multiple like friend groups around you because you're so like diverse, which ends up making you feel kind of alone. But especially in this Hermit card, a Hermit is about knowing yourself and loving yourself and being yourself and admitting that light that is you, this true authenticity that is you. And the only like challenging thing here would be this Four of Cups energy, where you're just kind of like sometimes, because you see so many things that are, you know, you want to experience so many things that are fantastic, that sometimes, you know, you just rack up these experiences and you're like, I don't know, even though you're doing something amazing and wonderful, like the other people around you would be like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you studying? What is going on? And you're just like, it's not a big deal. You can totally handle it. And certainly the complexities of things. You might be an air sign, you might be a fire sign coming through here with these two things. And again, the air and the fire signs, sometimes we kind of get hung up on emotions. And even if you're not those signs, that's fine. We all have, if you look at your birth chart, you know, you probably have air signs or fire signs placed in areas that, areas of your inspiration, areas of your intellect. And it's something that, you know, you keep hopping maybe from ideas to ideas. So it can be kind of hard for other people to follow you all the time. And especially your brain might make links between things that other people don't quite follow or don't quite understand. That's okay. You know, just because they don't understand it doesn't mean that they can't find beauty in who you are and what you're expressing. And you're certainly somebody who people need. They need this, because I feel like you do inspire other people. Maybe you don't see it all the time. And also, I think that you're somebody who may shock others a little bit, get them out of their comfort zone. That's a good thing. At the time when you see them, I think that you're like, oh, okay, I totally messed that up, or oh, I totally overwhelmed them. But I feel like you plant these seeds in others and you help them like break out of ruts. I mean, when our ego, like we're talking about humankind. Our ego likes to keep us in a rut. Our ego likes to keep us in this narrow band of thinking. Not only our ego, I mean, that's how we are, that's how we're built. Our ego tends to keep us on that certain kind of path that keeps us locked in a certain way of thinking. So not even that's how we're built. It's for survival reasons, it's for good reasons. But people who are in areas of power, people who are in areas of like marketing even, they know this. They understand like how humans work. So we get marketing messages, we get these psychological messages, we get politics follows this, that try to keep us on a particular path. That doesn't always work with you. You question things, you look at things and you're like, wait, what? And when you are around other people, you inspire them to question those things as well. It's a good thing. At first, they might seem like they're not really taking your what you're saying, or they might give you like this kind of crazy face because you're making them think about things in a new way that they're not always ready for. And that is okay. You're planting seeds, and you're actually somebody who's very memorable after the fact, after somebody meets you. So these are some new archetype cards. I'm just going to get 2 archetypes here. What else can you tell us about group 1? Group 1, we get, oh yeah, see the inventor, totally inventor. Oh, interesting, tomboy. Tomboy would kind of go along with the 2 knights here in that adventurous spirit. But I feel like you bring together things that don't necessarily go, and that's why people can't put you in a box. So the inventor, take on the day with real energy, be a builder, use your brilliance well, feel all of the intelligence and the spirit you have in you. Certainly a lot of intelligence. I've been talking about intelligence inside of you and the way your brain works and how you can, you're somebody who builds bridges though, like between 2 things, and helps others make those types of connections. So certainly amazing there for inventor. And tomboy, take on the day with real tomfoolery, be rogue, use your openness well, feel all of the strength and character you have in you. So that, I really feel like that speaks to these 2 knights, this adventurous, this moving, because I feel like when you have a particular idea, like you go with it, and you have that inspiration and idea, and you're just ready to, I just want to make sure I get everything on that's why I'm moving. You're ready to go with it. You're ready to roll with it. It's not an issue for you where it would be for other people. You're here, you're there, you get inspiration, and you might get inspiration in like the smallest of things, and people are like, what are you doing? But in a good way. Foaming, and ooh, the Fae. I love the Fae. To arrange these so we can see all of our cards. So I'm going to go off of the book here with foaming. Foaming talks about like maybe a level of rage or anger that is kind of inside of you. If that resonates, if what I just said resonates, you need to figure out how to release that anger so that it's not destructive, because foaming can talk about that being destructive. However, when I see this card with all of your other cards around you, I just feel like there are some things that just bubble up inside of you and you have to say. And that's great. Use your voice. Express yourself. I hope that because like the 4 of Cups would suggest that sometimes you say things and you don't get the reaction that you want, or you didn't get the reaction that you expect, because you were putting out your energy, and a lot of times it's very different than the energy of the people around you. You have to allow them time to acclimate to you. Some of the things that you say isn't going to like pop up in their mind for a while because you are on a completely different path than they are, and that is okay. You don't have to pull back because of that. If you've got like bubbles coming up inside you and you just feel like you need to say something, understand that because it's a bubble for you, it might be something that's very heavy for somebody else, and they may not expect that you say that. A lot of people are very surface and superficial, and you're not at all. There's nothing here that's surface and superficial. Well, maybe the nights can be that, but with everything else, I just feel like sometimes this like adventure spirit kind of really takes over. And again, we have that repeated over here with the Fae. The Fae represents curiosity and chaos. I think that your mind has a way of trying to order the chaos, where you see chaos, where other people are just like, they just don't even see it. They're just living in the simulation, and you're breaking out of that simulation. You see it around you, you see the chaos, you see the way that people are trying to order the chaos, and you're like you're a very magical being trying to break out of this chaos, seeking excitement and fun. That's repeated over here with these knights. A lot of movement on your side, because I feel like your brain moves very, very quickly, and you've got like this inner chaos, and I feel like the foaming here is kind of like sometimes that bubbles out and you say things that maybe again people are not ready for, and might also talk to you not having a filter. So just be mindful of that like some of the things that you say like can come across as very blunt, and people don't quite understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. And again, with this Four of Cups and the Hermit, that's why you might feel alone and lonely sometimes, or you feel like it's hard for you to make connections. But those connections, they're being built. Again, this whole idea of the inventor and the bridge maker, it's just that you can't always see them. And the Fae is about letting loose and going wild and being your wild self, because that is exactly your energy, and your aura and your beauty is exactly what the world needs. And uniquely you, is exactly what the people around you need, whether they know it or not. And more than likely they don't know it, but that's okay, because you know it. You know it, I know it, and we're going forward from here. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. This is the Bumblebee Jasper group. Don't worry, your deck that you chose will be coming out in a moment, but we're going to start off with these cards. These are the Sacred Geometry cards, and I keep trying to burn them on this candle, so I'm gonna not do that. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet from compassion and wisdom. I almost feel like you're somebody who people would describe as wise, as somebody maybe even picky, but picky is discernment. Like, you understand value and quality. You are not somebody who wants everything. Maybe you do want everything, but the things that you want them to be quality. You're not going to go to Taco Bell and order everything off the value menu, is what I'm saying. Like, you would rather go to a beautiful restaurant with a 5-star chef and get one taco then that costs more than everything on the value menu. And you get that, you understand quality. Like, you're somebody who would, when people see you or you walk into a room, you know, there's high value, a level of, what I'm trying to say here? Like almost an aristocrat. Maybe you were even aristocratic in a past life. Let's see. Ooh, okay, that came flying out. We got Ace of Swords reversed. What else can you tell us? We've got 8 of Pentacles reversed. We've got Judgment we've got Judgment, which with Discernment, I'm not surprised. And we have the Devil. I feel like you're somebody who's kind of stubborn too. Like if you wanted to quit doing something, you would just quit doing it. But then that's like with the Devil reversed here. Anything where you have these sort of attachments, like you might seem to others somebody who is very detached. It's not that you don't have like this love for others, but I almost feel like it can be come across as very kind of tough love that, because you look deeper into things, you look more in wisdom into things. For instance, if you're going to give money to charity, it's not just going to be somebody standing on the street corner. You would look into, if it's a homelessness thing, you would really look into what group is doing the best thing that you feel like for homeless people, and you would go and give money to that. I feel like sometimes you come across as a little maybe a little conceited, because you do things where you're like, well, if I can do it, because you hold people to a high standard. If I can do it, why can't you do it? I think is something that comes in a lot. It comes into your mind. I kind of laughed. I kind of giggled here at the 8 of Pentacles. I think you're somebody who makes your job look easy. I think you're somebody who can handle things, but I don't think that you do something that's physically labor intensive. I think you do something more that engages your mind, that uses your mind. You're somebody who works smarter, not harder. And you like repeat the same thing over and over again. A perfectionist kind of idea here comes to mind. And I feel like sometimes people think that they could never please you. So if that's not true, or if that's not what you want everybody to see in you, you just think about that. You come across kind of harsh sometimes on others. And it's just because I feel like you do have like this a little bit of a barrier around you. Sometimes you use your confidence as a barrier for other people, and it works well in certain situations where you walk into a room and you're like, don't you dare talk to me. Don't waste my time. Don't mess with me. And you know, it's a lot of other people should have that, but because you're just not somebody who you allow to mess around, and you're definitely the adult in the room when you walk into a room with that confidence. Oh, what I giggled when this 8 of Pentacles came off is there's an Instagram Reels where somebody asks like, what's your dream job? And the response is, darling, I've told you 100 times, I do not dream of labor. That is the kind of thing that's coming through here. That kind of like, I deserve better. I am better. Sometimes it can come across as you're better than other people. I feel like though you just like the finer things in life, and you're going to go after that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people get it. Some people don't get it. Let's pull out here some of these. You're probably not going to like these cards. They're a little childlike, but that's okay. It'll be good for you. We get an Archetype Pioneer. Take on the day with real adventure. Be a trailblazer. You would be a trailblazer. I feel like you're kind of like a fashion trailblazer, like a high-end trailblazer in that end, because you see quality, you see patterns, you are confident, and you stand out. Use your discoveries well. Feel all of the ambition, definitely ambition here, and independence you have in you. So I definitely see that, the ambition and independence. And then we're going to come out. Look at this, the Hermit. Take on the day with real wisdom. Again, the whole idea of wisdom here is being, and you might be somebody who has like advanced degrees too. If you don't have advanced degrees, it's because you felt like you didn't need it, because you're already like that pioneer. You're already like, what could they teach you? Take on the day with real wisdom. Be a humanitarian. Use your solitude well. Feel all of the empathy and peace you have in you. So I feel like sometimes you do have that boundary around you where people may not fully feel that empathy and peace from you. It doesn't mean that you don't love others. You do. You just have like a very high, you have high standards. And you want other people to have high standards too. And I feel like you think that a lot of everybody else's issues or problems could be solved if they had higher standards for themselves. And you're not somebody who would get lost in being indulgent in certain things. I think you do have your pleasures, the things that you like, but but you might feel guilty about some of those things. Let's see. We get waning crescent. I get a really kind of like aristocratic ballet vibe here. Ooh, and fawn. So waning crescent kind of has the moon. Maxing is waxing. Waxing is maxing. So waning is on the other side of that full moon. It's going from a full moon to a new moon. There's a lot of release in that. So it can talk about things that are happening beyond our control. It can talk about a little bit of chaos. I just feel like you are somebody who dances with chaos. You're somebody who you're maybe that whole like idea of never let them see you sweat. You just have like this grace about you where you take on these things and you handle it. Now the fawn is interesting because the fawn is about exploring new things. And there's also like a quietness and a calmness to a fawn. And I'm seeing that with kind of like this discernment too, where you take chaos, it's fine, you can handle it. You're the one who handles things. You're the handler. And you take the chaos and you bring it in and you filter it through with your discernment, and you pick out the truth and you carry forward with that. I feel like you're somebody who people come to if they don't quite understand a situation, and you're not afraid. Like, you have this methodology going into things, so you're not afraid of new situations and like the chaos, because you understand that you can dance within those things. Because like the pioneer and the fawn, both of these speak to new things. It's interesting that we've got the Ace of Swords. I didn't really address this card much. I'm kind of like reading it with the other things, but with this, the pioneer and the fawn, even though you go into situations that are brand new to you, you don't come across as somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. You don't come across as a noob. You come across as somebody who has a handle on the situation. You do have like, this speaks to a great potential. This speaks to a lot of intellect, but it's more than intellect with you. It's that wisdom, it's that guidance, it's that intuition that you follow. It's your inner guidance. You just know and you just do it. You don't get overly excited about things. I also don't think I mentioned much about this. I did, but I didn't particularly point it out here with the judgment. Judgment, discernment. Judgment is about a level up. It is about hearing the call. It's about spirituality. It is about following your calling. I feel like you follow like a higher calling, and that comes across to other people, that there's, it's, you're not going to just fall for anything that a mortal human being says, because you understand that we're all flawed, and you understand that like you're not going to fawn over yourself over like a particular politician or a particular celebrity. You understand we're all on this particular journey, and your path, you're always looking to improve it, and you're not afraid to go out and do travel the road that less traveled, we'll say, because you have these qualities, you have these great qualities where you trust yourself. And that confidence and trust is very appealing and very beautiful and very attractive. So that's what makes you attractive here. Not being afraid to meet those new things. Now, the only place would be where other people might be intimidated by you. That, though, is not your problem. That's their problem. Just understand that you might have that issue when you're connecting with other people, that they might be a little intimidated by you. And again, that's their problem. That's not yours. You can't like dim your light so somebody else is brighter. All you can do is be you and be an example of how you carry forward. And I feel like sometimes you don't really get it. You don't really understand why they are the way they are. Because you're like, but I did it. It's not a problem. Like, but you don't give yourself full credit for how difficult the things that you do and the way that you handle things and the grace that you handle things are. So that's what I have for you, Group 2. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 3. If you picked the pink Mookaite, don't worry, your tarot deck will be out here in a moment. I just wanted to start off with these cards. These are sacred geometry activations. So the first thing about what makes you attractive, we have prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of abundance and riches that the universe provides. So if you're like looking at me all crazy, like I don't have prosperity, okay, but you make the most of the things that you have, and it's more than just about money. And I feel like you understand that there's a certain amount of joy and fun and the whole idea of the body, mind, spirit, heart, soul, that all connection, like you're very complete, you're a complete package. You might also be somebody who people have called extra. You might be a little extra. That's okay. It's certainly somebody who shines bright. You might look luscious. You might look like, you're $1 million, and you're probably somebody who can craft that look, that can put those things together. Like, how to go into a thrift store, pick something up, put a little bit of work into it. And I feel like that makes it like more fun for you, like more attractive in that way for you. Let's see what else. See, I said we would be getting out this tarot deck. What else do we have for group 3? We have the 7 of Cups, which is all about options and loving having options and being very open to those things. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is a planner, somebody who likes to travel. Look at this, 9 of Pentacles. That's the prosperity card. Self-made, and look at also self. We get the Hermit. You know what? Honestly, I have a couple different decks. Well, each of the tarot decks is different, of course, but then I have other decks that I have been pulling out, and the Hermit has come out in every single one of them in some way or fashion. So that is interesting to me because I feel like this whole group, not just you group 3, but in the 1s and 2s, everybody either doesn't understand like the real beauty of their individuality, or you know, because this is coming out as kind of like advice. Make sure that you shine. Don't let other people diminish you. Like you, this is an interesting Hermit because she's kind of out here on the ocean by herself, kind of on her own little island. And when I see that, it makes me think, because the ocean is representative of emotions. We've got the 7 of Cups. Cups is also representative of emotions. You need to follow your own guidance and not be so concerned about what others think or what others say to you. When you are authentically yourself and radiating your own joy and love, going back to that thing about when I said somebody might call you extra, so what? Who cares if they, like, don't let that make you feel bad. There's a whole thing about, if I'm extra, go find less. There's nothing wrong with being extra. So while some of the other groups before you, I feel like they're very choosy, I feel like you allow a lot more. Like you're just a very kind of go with the flow, allow things in, really, especially with the 7 of Cups, like, ooh, I'll take that and that and that and that, which is beautiful as far as this prosperity is concerned and that joy that we were talking about. You just allow a lot of things to make you happy, and that's okay. It could be the little things. Like you could make a video of yourself, like you just went into the dollar store and you pick something up, like some sort of like, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you going into the dollar store, picking up some sort of like funny face or mask or some sort of glasses, going into your car, putting them on and just giggling and making like a TikTok about that. And everybody is so enthralled in that and loves it because you're just, you know, genuinely giddy and in love with some of the simple things. And it's not it's not like it has to be so difficult. You don't have to think about it. You just really allow a lot of things. Now the 3 of Wands, I do feel like you have you know, you have goals, you have aspirations, you have some maybe some really big time goals. And when we get the 3 of Wands and then the 9 of Pentacles after that, this is telling me that you have, and the Hermit, this is telling me that you have all of the things inside of you, that all of the wisdom, all of the, I feel like you're probably somebody who's very lucky too. That other people would say that you're lucky. But I think that you do put a lot of work into it. You just don't let other people see the work that you put into it. That could garner a certain amount of like haters on that, because, you know, everybody, when you do put something out there, you're sharing it on social media, you're letting your friends know, people are like, well, it must be nice. Well, they're not seeing all this work, all this introspection, all of the planning that you put into things. Like, so don't let, I mean, yeah, it is nice. It is nice to be you, because you work hard. You work hard for what you do. Don't let somebody else tear you down for that. We have the Prophet. Take on the day with real divinity. Be a seer. Use your influence well. Feel all of the humanness and spirituality you have in you. So humanness and spirituality, I feel like you really do care about other people. You really do want to connect with them. But you do that through your own heart. You do that through your own guidance. You do that through your own self. And I feel like you do want other people around you to be happy. I feel like you're somebody who will go and cheer them up and, you know, try to make others happy, and try to, you know, express that. So what else do we have for you? Oh, scribe. Take on the day with real responsibility. Be a facilitator. Use your decisions well. Feel all of the organization and validation you have in you. So I think the scribe part, though, is something that not everybody else sees. They don't always see the work that you're putting into it. They don't always see all the planning that you're putting into it. I almost feel like the Seven of Cups, remember how I was saying, Seven of Cups is about having choices. The Seven of Cups is about seeing the big picture and seeing all of your choices. And you have a specific vantage point where you're able to see all that stuff. There's people who have tons of opportunities, and for some reason they just don't see it in front of them. You do. And then when you pick out your star and you pick out your choice, even though you would be happy with anything because you're the one who makes it what it is, you're the one who puts in the work, you're the one who you know, uses your guidance to follow that thing. You use your divinity, like it says over here. You're a seer. You see these possibilities. You use your other perspective. And then you write down your goals and you make it happen. And then at the end, like, you do all of those things, and then at the end, when you make it happen, like, that's, and you even have failures in there, and you just redraft and redo and do it again. It's the end point is what you're showing other people, and that sometimes is where other people are like, oh, it must be nice. And you're like, yeah, it is really nice to work really hard and be really happy with anything that you've been given and make it something. It's super nice, and own it. So let's just get a couple more cards here. Ooh, Fox. I feel like you have a, so on the surface, I feel like you are like this joyful and sweet and kind and fun, but there is a slyness behind there, like a crafty. And then we have lion. It's interesting that you have both, because this deck isn't just spirit animals. There's other things in here. It's interesting that we have the fox and we have the lion. So I feel like what is kind of coming in that you're doing, you're processing behind the scenes, you're using your intellect. It doesn't always, like, people don't see all the thought that you put into it. They don't see all the perspective that you have. They don't see all the planning. They don't see all the work. Kind of here with this fox, because the fox, you know, they see things and they might act a certain way so that they gain a certain advantage. You know, that sly fox, that they're thinking, their minds are always thinking and calculating things, where the lion has that kind of majestic, that majesty, that beauty, that extra that I'm talking about, where people see you at this Nine of Pentacles stage where they don't see all the work that you've put in. You put in a lot of work. You just didn't let it hold you back. They just see you like this strength and this grace and this beauty and this joy and this prosperity. And then, wow, you know, it was really great being born a lion. You made that lion. You weren't just born that lion. You created that lion. And that's okay. the people who get it and see it and love it, like they really get it, and they definitely see your beauty for that. And there's people who aren't haters, who see that and they'll just what you're projecting, and even if they think that it's by accident or it's by luck, you know, it's okay with them. They appreciate it. They appreciate you and that beauty, and that, again, that I just keep coming back to this abundance and prosperity, and there's others who are kind of like on the same page with you because they're doing the same thing, and maybe in a different realm, and they love it. The fox is witty and sly, and you're able to think quickly and plan ahead. Use your senses to overcome anything that stands in your way. You are slick and smooth, and nothing will hold you back. And on the same measure, it's not surprising that the lion comes in here too, because we have strong and brave and powerful, you know, that whole king of the jungle vibe. And that, you know, that power, and you're able to overcome anything too with that perseverance. So just that perseverance, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you get it. You understand, like you get to where you want to go, and by taking the things that you get and making it more than what it was. And that is your beauty, my dear number 3. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 4. If you picked the rainbow fluorite, you were in the right place. Ooh. And it says you're in the right place. And then we have and don't worry, I will get I'm just starting off with these cards. These are the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle, and then we will get your tarot cards that you picked here out in a moment. But the first card that comes out for you and why you are so attractive, group 4, we have the root chakra. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as the physical world. The root chakra is, if you're thinking about your chakras as a column, like from your head to your tailbone, the root chakra is the tailbone. It's number 1. This is stability. This is foundation. This is grounding. This is, you come across as very practical. You come across as somebody who is, I don't want to say maybe old-fashioned, but certainly, you know, you don't necessarily jump to conclusions. You put in the work. You not afraid to get your hands dirty. It's interesting that you got, I haven't really brought these stones into any of the readings. It's interesting that you picked this one. It has the green and the purple, just because it really reminds me of, and then the cards as well, these tarot cards as well, really reminds me of flowers, of plants. And I think you're somebody who would be likely to plant something, likely to, you know, really enjoy getting your hands dirty. I'm just going to pull out some other cards here. We'll get the 5 of Swords. Interesting. 2 of Swords reversed. And, ooh, this one went flying. This is the 9 of Pentacles. It went flying. I'm going to put it right up. Not surprised to see Pentacles here at all. 8 of Cups, and I'm not surprised that our 8 of Cups and our 2 of Swords are reversed, because I feel like you're very stubborn. You're not going to walk away from a situation just because it needs a little bit of work. 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords reversed, so we've got a lot of thought that goes into things that you do. 9 of Pentacles. This is definitely what I was talking about with the root chakra. Not afraid to getting your hands dirty, not afraid to put in that work. Pentacles is definitely related to the root chakra. It is the physical, the things that we touch, taste, feel, that we put our hands in, our work situation. You're a hard worker. You get the job done. And then we've got the 8 of Cups reversed. that stubbornness. You're going to sit here and make it happen. You're going to make it work, no matter how many times that you try. You might walk away from a little bit, but you come back, and really there's no other option for you. You just are going to get like push ahead, and you're going to make it happen. You're going to do it. It's all about you, you doing it. So you don't get distracted by a bunch of other things going on here. Five of Swords is about conflict with other people. This particular Five of Swords I really like, because he's sitting here with all of the swords, with these other people walking away. Presumably he has taken those swords away from them. It's kind of like, you win the battle, but you lose the war. However, he is sitting here in contemplation, and I feel like you're somebody, when you go through a challenge, when you go through an issue with other people, you learn from that. You learn from your mistakes. It's very thoughtful in your observations. It's very thoughtful in what you do. You're also not afraid to tell people how you see the world and how it is. You're not afraid of conflict. A lot of people are afraid of conflict. I know that's not always comes across as the best quality, but it really is a good quality to have, that you're not going to be afraid to speak what you feel like is true, what you feel like is your observation, how you feel like things are. The only thing I could give you as possible advice is just, you can still speak your truth, but you don't have to be, I don't think you're mean or rude about it, but it comes across more blunt than you mean it to be. So just watch that, just look at that. I think that you're very decisive. If people have like questions in their mind and they're not afraid, or they're not sure what to do they say yes? Do they say no? What about this situation? What about that situation? Like, you can just really assess the situation and just be like, yep, this is what we should do. This is where we should go with it. I feel like you, yes, you're very practical. You would do that. You could be very logical about things, but you also take into consideration what your heart and what your intuition is saying, and you make decisions based off of that. Again, with this, this growth, this is kind of hiding over here. Love this plant, but it kind of hides the cards, so I will bring it out. The Nine of Pentacles, creating that abundance. It's not only for you, it's for other people as well. Like, you want to include other people. It's almost like that little red hen fairy tale. Is it really a fairy tale or a fable? Maybe it's more of a fable. I don't know the difference. You let me know down below. The little red hen, where she is like, hey guys, I'm gonna plant these seeds. Anybody want to help me? And they're like, nah, I'm busy. And then every step of the way, from planting the seeds to getting that crop. I think she's doing wheat because she makes bread, I think. To every step of the way, she asks people if they will help her, if they want to help her. And at the end, she makes bread, and then everybody wants to be there to enjoy it, but they weren't there all that long way. You're there that entire way. You're there to plant the seeds. You're there to put in the work. You're there at every single step. You're there to worry about it. And then at the end, you have this beautiful and this great harvest. Now you can decide if you're going to share it with other people who you gave the opportunity to come and help you and they didn't. And then the Eight of Cups is kind of like, I kind of see you as somebody who doesn't necessarily look at a situation and think that the grass is greener on the other side. You're somebody who thinks that the grass is greener where you water it. You might not always be happy where you are or with what you're doing, but I feel like you're somebody who is always going to sit down and think about the situation, make your choices, assess things, and then make it the way that you want it to be, rather than going out and always trying to find that situation, which is great. You know, there's a lot of people who will just quit things now. You are not a quitter. at all. We've got visionary. Take on the day with real variety. Be assertive. Use your creativity well. Feel all the possibility and expression you have within you. I love that this visionary has like this glass, like this, what do you, like telescope or spyglass is where I'm going with. I feel like the 9 of Pentacles really has to be a visionary. When you plant a seed, you have to have a vision for what is going to happen after that, what you're going to need to do to put into that, what the end result and end goal is going to be. So part of your attractiveness is being a visionary, seeing those steps, seeing that goal, going in and assessing every step of the way where you are, where you need to be, where you want to be. Ooh, this is interesting. Jester, take on the day with real character. Be fun-loving. Use your happiness well. Feel all of the fun and enjoyment you have in you. So with the Jester, I kind of feel like that is more of some advice coming out from the cards, that to make sure that you're having fun and you're enjoying what you're doing. I think you're somebody who does enjoy like the puzzle of it, the challenge. I think you're somebody who enjoys the challenge. And the Jester is just a reminder of like, hey, this is supposed to be fun. If this wasn't fun, why are we doing it? It doesn't mean, you know, that you have that beautiful foundation, this putting the thoughtfulness into it to, you know, push you forward. So make sure that you're also having fun with it. I feel like you find fun in growth. What else can we tell group 4? That's way too many cards. I just want one card. One card. There we go. Dandelion. That's interesting that Dandelion comes out because this deck and Lust. That's interesting as well. So this deck has more than, obviously, I was just going to say it has more than just plants in here. It has other things as well. And now you know because Lust came out too. Interesting, the Dandelion comes out, you know, making a wish, right? It's a dandelion. We make wishes on that. But I feel like you're more practical than just letting wishes control your future, control you, control what's going on. And especially with the 8 of Cups here in reverse. So in the tarot deck, we've got the 8 of Cups and the very next card is the 9 of Cups, which is the Wish card. The Wish card is, it's like, the 8 of Cups says, I'm not happy here, I'm leaving and going and finding our happiness, our joy. But I feel like when you've got the 9 of Pentacles here, you are somebody who works to make your wish come true. And I feel like you're a little bit, again, more practical. So you see value in something that, because like a dandelion is actually, there's so much, like it's actually useful. It's so interesting how when we have dandelions in our yard, like society says we're supposed to spray them, but you can actually use a dandelion. You can make tea from it. It's edible. You can do more with that than you can do with your lawn. So as somebody who is very practical and looking at plants and medicine and plant medicine and that kind of thing, I think you understand sometimes things, and this kind of ties into Lust here, things get villainized and they're very practical and very useful. And with the Lust card, like, yes, lust is one of the 7 deadly sins, and it is something that can really hold us back and keep us from our goal. But when you use your passion, like, there's a reason that you like something. There's a reason that you're following your emotions. And I feel like the 8 of Cups and the Lust here really talks about you being in control of those emotions and really using those emotions and all of that to take you where you want to be. And I just feel like the Jester and maybe the Lust a little bit is here just to remind you to lighten up a little bit, to have a little bit of fun, to appreciate yourself, to appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table for other people, and how useful you are. You should know this. If there's nothing wrong with being a dandelion. A dandelion is very useful, and actually it's one of the first things that like little kids will go and they will pick up out of the lawn and they will bring to their mom when they want to bring them flowers and really uplift their day. And I feel like, not everything is roses, but roses are kind of a pain in the ass, and you're not like this. You're not high maintenance. You're somebody who puts in the work and makes their dreams come true, and that's what makes you attractive, group 4. So that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next reading.